Let me guess. Last night, before you got into bed, you crawled into bed and you went on YouTube. You know, you gotta fall asleep to some YouTube. And then you recommended one of these streamer, clips. They take a bunch of people. They take Ninja, Daequan, Nick Ether, a bunch of streamers, right? They're pretty smart, right? They take a bunch of streamers' highlights because nobody's going to watch the whole streamer's highlights. They make their own video. I mean, some would say it's stealing content, but I'm not going to say my opinion on that. So my point is, as you're watching this streamer, you're noticing he's building like crazy. Whether it's Ninja, he's freaking a bunch of freaking ramps. Somebody shoots at him, he whips around, builds like 80 ramps and freaking stairs, and you're just thinking to yourself, I want to be like that. You're thinking about Daequan, you're thinking about all these guys, and you're thinking, yo, I want to be like that. But there's just one problem. You play on console. Oh, sad story. Well, stop your crying, okay? Because I'm here to help you out. Now, before I made this video, I was deciding whether or not to make it. The reason why I didn't want to make it was because I don't want people pulling up on me and using my own technique on me, because it's just so good that it'll counter anything, and like, you're gonna be building gods. So the least you guys could do is like the video. I'm not even gonna ask you guys to subscribe. I have like 6 videos on my YouTube channel. Just like the video. It's free, okay? I'm putting a lot of freaking effort into making you guys better Fortnite players. Just like the alrighty, so I think there's like 4 main building methods people use today. I'm gonna go through each one of them, say why they're terrible, and then at the very end, stay tuned, I'll tell you guys what you should do. Now, there is one catch, and I'm not gonna say it now because I want you to continue to watch the video, but I'll say the catch later on. Alright, so the number 1 building method that I think a lot of people use today, which you should all in all stop today, it's 2018, June 25th. Stop using this method. I call this method the default method. Not only do I call it the default method because mainly only defaults use it, which I don't know why you don't have a skin. The least you could do is freaking hook your mom's Amazon account to your Fortnite account and you at least have something. But essentially what the default building menu is just the default. Fortnite has made their own default menu, and yeah, when you first load up Fortnite for the first time, this is the building method you get. You get the normal thing, and then in order to essentially build something, you gotta click B, stands for build. That's on Xbox, by the way. I don't know what it is on PlayStation. And then you gotta scroll through each individual freaking little icons, right? It makes no sense. I don't know why you would do this. I think the reason why most default skins are the way they are is because they use this and they're not evolving. Switch things up. It's 2018. Trust me, once you switch, it's gonna take a little bit of time, but it's fine. Switch. All right, so that's a basic menu. All right, there's a lot of people use it. You should stop using it. On to the second building method that a lot of people I still see using this, which I don't know why. One of the YouTubers that I like to watch, C-Day, he uses this still, which, C-Day, if you're watching this,
stop it.
So what it is it's not quite the default menu, but it's fairly close. Now, instead of completely scrolling through each individual icon to go from stair to wall to floor to pyramid, you're basically glitching the game and you're going to your pyramid and you're switching the pyramid so that instead of making a little pyramid thingy, you're making a little slant thingy like this. So instead of going from, I think it's wall to floor, you're going from floor to the triangle, which is really another staircase. Now, I understand this to a certain point. You want to be a little bit faster, but the reason why I can't recommend this, and I think it's still kind of defaulty, is you got to still look at your building menu. You got to click the B button, take your finger off the stick, put it on the B button, and then you actually got to scroll through and remember which one you're on and look at your actual building menu. Yes, it's a little bit better than the default, but it's not that much different. It'll save you a little bit of time, but that's about it. You're still scrolling through each individual thing, and it's terrible. Alright, don't use this. C-Day, I'm mainly talking to you because you're the only freaking person I know that isn't a default and still uses this. So please, listen to what I'm going to tell you in a few minutes here, alright? I got you. So the third and most popular building thing people use today is the Builder Pro. Now, the Builder Pro is probably the best thing other than the method I use, and I'm going to share with you guys. Essentially, Epic came out with this nice building menu. They were nice to the console players, and they made it to where once you click the B button, you're going to have each one of these, your 2 triggers and your 2 bumpers are going to be aligned to each and every one of the building slots. I've never used this, so I don't know exactly what it is, but for example, let's say you click B and you click the right bumper. Let's say that's your pyramid. So somebody's shooting at you, you click B and you can click pyramid, and you can know that you could trust that button to put down a pyramid or whatever you're trying to put down. My building method is better than the defaulty. Don't be this guy. Number 2 is the pyramid C-Day. Don't be this guy either. Please don't. Okay, listen to me. And number 3 is the off-brand great value version of the Builder Pro. Alright? It says Builder Pro, but don't listen to it. It's not Builder Pro. What I'm gonna tell you, what you watched through this entire video for me to tell you, is the legitimate Builder Pro. Now, I mentioned at the very beginning there is a catch to this, and okay, some of you guys may be a little angry at me, but just hear me out, okay? The catch is you're going to have to use one of these fancy controllers. Now, when I say fancy controllers, I mean the controllers that have these paddles on the back. There's a bunch of different brands that make them out there. There's Scuff, I think one's like Battle Beaver, and then a bunch of other companies, but the one I have is the Xbox One Elite. Now, this controller was actually made by Microsoft, and it's actually really nice. I've been using it for, I think, almost a year now, and I think it's really, really nice. I've made a couple other videos on the channel about it. Yes, these controllers do cost a little bit more money than the average controller, but let me ask you something, alright? I'll whisper in your ear. Do you think that by using the controller everybody else is going to be using this one, you think you're going to get better? Because you're not! You're not. Okay, bottom line, if you're still using this controller in the summer of 2018, you're wrong. Alright, I'm sorry, but if you want to get good at video games, you're gonna have to put in a little bit of money. Now, I haven't personally tried Battle Beaver or Scuff, even though I do want to try Scuff because a lot of people recommend it. I just haven't gotten my hands on it. I'm not gonna bash any of the other controllers because I haven't used them, and I'm not gonna support them either. But I mean, Scuff, if you want to hit me up, hit me up with that thick discount or controller, sponsor me. I'll definitely try your controller out. Just email me right here. Alright, but I am gonna promote this controller. I've used it for the longest time. I'll leave a link down in the description. I think I picked it up for like $100 on eBay, and yeah, I honestly haven't really had too many problems with it other than like the stick getting jammed, but that really happens on any controller. You can't blame it on the Elite. So yeah, now that the catch is out of the way and you guys know what you're gonna be having to put into, you know, doing this actual Builder Pro and becoming the ultimate builder god, I'm gonna let you know how to do this. Now, basically, the method I use is like Builder Pro, but it's on steroids. Instead of having your controller and clicking B and then having your ramp, wall, all those things aligned to the triggers, they're actually going to be aligned to each individual paddle. Now, I've even taken it a step further, and instead of clicking the B button on here and taking my finger off the stick and essentially risk having control over where my aim is, I've taken it a step further and I've made one of the paddles the B button. So all I got to do is click one of these paddles with my back fingers, and then I've aligned the wall, ramp, and floor to the remaining 3 paddles. Now, I hardly ever use the pyramid. Like, I can't remember the last time I used it. So I didn't have enough paddles on the controller for all 4 of the things, so I just decided to cut pyramid out because I never use it. If you're the type of person to use pyramid, then go ahead and leave it in there, but I never use it, so I just cut it out. So the reason why this way of formatting your controller and going out and doing all this stuff is superior is because, number one, you never have to look at your building menu ever again. You could just trust that once you click the paddle on the back, all of your floors, your walls, etc., all your building things are going to be at your fingertips without you ever having to look, and you can trust your controller to do its job, so you don't have to risk looking down and then looking up and getting pumped in the face for 7 damage because they nerfed the pumps, and yeah, that's a different story. Now the second reason why this is better than the actual Builder Pro is because you don't have to risk moving your fingers off of the sticks to click B, and everything's just right at your fingertips. You never have to get used to using your fingers, do all the work or whatever. The third reason why this building method is superior over all the other ones is just the Elite itself. Now I'm not going to go into every single thing that it does because there's a bunch of other videos out there that you could find on these certain controllers that'll help your performance. But from my experience with the grips on the back to being able to adjust your heights of your sticks on your controllers to removing the D-pad to the trigger stops, literally everything will outweigh the Builder Pro, and you'll be that much better than the other person using the Builder Pro with the regular controller. Alrighty, so now that I've gone on and told you guys the reasons why this controller is better, I'm actually going to show you guys how to link your Fortnite building controls into the controller and to program each button to do what. So what you're going to want to do is you want to click the home button, go all the way over to your settings. Now from your settings, you're going to want to go all the way down to connect and devices, go over to devices and accessories, and right here should pull up the build or your Xbox One Elite controller building menu. Now I'm using an Elite in this, but like I said before, you could probably do this with the Scuff and the Battle Beaver, and if you can't, then I'm sorry, I guess the Elite's just better, but I can't really say that because I haven't tried any of the other controllers, like I've said 50 million freaking times in this video. Alright, so from there you're going to want to click configure, and then this is where all the magic happens. So I'm going to go into click the configure, a new configure, name it whatever you want, let's say alright, there you go. And this part can be a little bit confusing, but after you've done it a couple times and you kind of get used to it, so you're gonna want to click A on the top little thingy there, and then you're going to want to scroll down to each paddle. So let's say I want my upper left paddle to be like my ramp or something. Now I'm going to put on the screen right now a picture of the Building Pro menu. Now you're going to want to use this to decide which paddle you want to which. I'm not going to tell you exactly what to preset because it's all on your choice, personal preference, but I will give you guys my layout. As you can see, you see the Xbox controller right there. I have my bottom right paddle, the B button, because I feel like that's one of the hardest paddles to click when you're dealing with all the other paddles, and that's probably the paddle that you're gonna have to deal with least. Above that, I have the upper right paddle being LT because I like my upper right paddle being the stair, and I think I use the stair the most, and that paddle is probably the easiest to click. It's right on my middle finger, so there you go. Next to that, I have RT because I like that to be my wall, and my wall is probably the second most thing I use. And I'm just gonna say it right now, at least for me, the easiest paddles to click are the upper ones, and the bottom ones are a little bit harder to click. So I put my floor as the bottom one, the bottom left, and B is the bottom right because they're just used less, so you know, I don't have to worry about them being down there. Oh yeah, and obviously if you guys couldn't tell, you're gonna have to have the Builder Pro menu selected. I thought I might as well say that for some people out there that are a little bit slower than others. So all you're gonna want to do is click the menu button on your controller, go over to the little scroll wheel, go over to the controller tab, and then just go from Quick Builder, aka default, all the way over to Builder Pro. Click Y to apply it, and then just back out of there, and you should be good to go. So yeah, before I let the clips roam of me destroying kids with this building method, I do want to let you guys know that you have to have patience with this. A lot of people think that once they drop over $100 on a controller, they're automatically gonna be really good at whatever game they're playing, and that is true to an extent, but I don't think that people realize when they buy these controllers that it is gonna take a little bit of time to get used to the paddles, the way you're holding the controller, the way the controller feels, and all types of stuff like that. Trust me, I've been there, and so many times I've completely quit and gone back to a default controller after I've spent money, extra money, on a new controller. But as you continue to use the controller more and more, you start to notice the way you're supposed to be feeling it and holding it in hand.
That's what she said.
So have patience. Just like anything, you gotta have patience and you gotta push on. And eventually, I promise to you guys, you will get better and better at console building. And yeah, so yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like the video. You don't have to subscribe, but I put a lot of convincing into myself to let my secrets out to the world. So please like the video if you enjoy it. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Ain't nobody else saying shit. I usually